I have tried to post this video several times and the internet is not letting me. And I should take that as a sign, like I shouldn't post this, but I'm just going to because what's meant to be will be, I guess. Someone tell me why I just spent like 30 minutes of my life on Instagram defending Meghan Markle. And defending her because I like her. And before anyone says like, oh, why do you like her and why would you defend her? Just hear me out, okay? I now decided to come to TikTok because I felt like this also would be a really good introduction to who I am, because I just recently started posting on TikTok and I have like 100 followers and it's just so exciting. But that being said, I felt like it was a good time to introduce who I am and just kind of get a few things that I've really been thinking about lately and just kind of getting it out there to say like, this is who I am. And if you want to follow, great. And this is a great time. If you don't want to follow, bye, Felicia. So I am almost 40 years old and I am a Hispanic woman. I am married and I have two daughters, 11 years old and 9 years old. And as a Hispanic woman, I'm fully embracing that, okay? And I say that because growing up, I can't say that I fully embraced it. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, and my parents don't speak Spanish, and my parents didn't teach me to speak Spanish. And when my parents were younger, their parents did not teach them how to speak Spanish because it was frowned upon. And you did not want to draw attention to the fact that you were Hispanic. And so when I was growing up, and some people would even argue like you can't even call yourself Hispanic. And I know that there are different names. There's, Latinx, and there's certain names that, yes, you can call yourself Chicano, Chicana. I know that. But I always called myself Hispanic. There was no getting away from it. My maiden name is Garcia. So that is who I was, and that is who I am. And I've shared on TikTok that every Tuesday I go to therapy, and I call it Take Care Tuesday. And it's been life-changing. It has absolutely helped me to basically kind of shed a lot of insecurities that I've had growing up. Growing up as an only child, and I had predominantly Caucasian friends. I dated predominantly white guys. I dated all white guys, in fact. And there were a lot of times, a lot of instances. I had two, for sure, like good friends that would just love to remind me that I was a minority. And so lately, now, especially in the political climate that we're in, I have just found myself just fully embracing being a Latina. And I love it. And I have two daughters, and I want them to fully embrace that as well. So today, now my husband's butting in. I gotta stop my video. Okay, I had to kick my husband out for a minute. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Babe, are you still there? Okay, now back to the Meghan Markle part. I didn't want my husband to hear that because he'd be like, babe, Meghan Markle could take care of herself. But it's not about that. It's not just popping off on people on social media just to pop off. It has everything to do with the fact that I feel for this girl. To me, she is very relatable. Now, granted, she's a freaking duchess, okay? But I feel like she did not grow up with a silver spoon in her mouth. She grew up in LA in a single parent household. I did as well. Her dad doesn't walk her down the aisle. There's all this drama. My dad also did not walk me down the aisle. There are just certain things like just that she's just a human being, right? Like there's all these stories about her that show it's like when celebrities, they're just like us. And let's say kids have heroes that are baseball players, basketball players, because maybe they grew up in the same neighborhood, or, they start from nothing and now they're here, like kind of started from the bottom, now we're here, like that mentality. And I just found her to be relatable in that sense. And I was kind of like, wow, good for her. You know what I mean? Like she's this beautiful Black woman. She's now found herself a prince. She is Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and I will forever give her that name because she earned it, because she married into it. And as someone who studied abroad in London, and I love my people across the pond, I love them. But those tabloids are vicious. They are vicious. And people are reading them in the tube at like 7 a.m. in the morning, and you see some really like vicious things. And so now, you're in America and you're like, okay, I'm in my country, right? Like I should be fully embraced. And no, people still do not want to embrace you. And I'll tell you why. Because you are not an ugly woman who looks like everyone else. You are a beautiful Black woman. And I know that it has to do with race because I'm reading through these comments that these people are writing, and it's like, she doesn't even act Black. And if I had a nickel for every time someone said, you don't even act Mexican. And what do you say to that? What does one say to that? And I think that is why I find it so, I am offended by it. So I want to defend this woman who does not need my help. And I get that. But I feel like I am almost defending myself all those times that I didn't. And there were plenty of those times. There is a reason why at this stage in life, I am turning 40 and I'm like deciding now, after a year and a half of therapy, that I will now start posting myself on social media, wearing cute clothes and styling my outfits and putting myself out there in a way that is more vulnerable, because I grew up as an only child. I was very timid. And I switched schools when I was in 3rd grade because I was bullied. Like I just didn't have a voice. And now I have too much of a voice. People are like, girl, you need to shut up. But I just think that I don't care anymore what people say. And maybe that's not true. I still care. Like I still have insecurities. There's a reason why I still go to therapy every Tuesday, and I will keep continuing to mention that because it has helped me so much, but it has also helped me to give zero. And I think that is so important at this stage in my life to show my daughters that they should stand up for what they believe in. They should be proud of who they are and what they look like and where they came from. And that they should be for the people. Because the other part of this is that I did pop off on people, and it was on my business page, and I shouldn't do that technically, right? But I'm kind of to the point where I'm watching these other women who are political, and they are posting their outfit for Halloween, and they're dressing up in blackface and using the N-word like it's no big deal. And people like that content, and I'm just thinking, oh, hell no. I am not going to care if I post about being against racism. I am a proud Latina who is against families being ripped apart because they're brown. I'm not for it. And if you don't like that about me, you don't have to follow me. There is not a cute enough outfit to make you stay. Am I right? But quite honestly, my point is I don't want you to be my friend. I don't want that kind of a follow. I am who I am at this stage in life, and I'm going to be unapologetically me. And my story is that my light had to be dimmed, and it is no longer going to be put out. And so I will stand up for the people like Meghan Markle. And as silly as this post may be, and I went on for a 10-minute rant, and I apologize about that. I am not good at landing the plane, but I think the moral of my story is that I am a brown woman who is probably perimenopausal, who loves to make things look really pretty, and who's on a budget because I'm remodeling my house. I do interior design, and I want to support women. I want to support causes that I'm proud of. I am not a racist, and I don't support racists. Plain and simple. If you don't like that, there's the dough. If you do, thanks for the listen.